Yo, what is happening, gang? How are we doing? This is now the second installment of this revival of the YouTube channel to become an ambassador for Sealand, and today we are looking at the AirPod Pros. I know I'm incredibly late to the party as these things did come out years ago, but I hope that has sort of left me some room to make this more conclusive than other reviews. I want to preface this and say that even though I am an Apple fanboy, I have tried to view these as objectively as possible because I use these as my daily drivers, and that's what I want this video to be about. It's for those who get a pair of these to use all day, every day, in place of headphones. The review will be broken up into a few categories, ending off with my final thoughts and takeaways with my experiences, and the first one we're going to look at is comfort, which is the initial element we all look at before we hit play on a song to test how they sound. In the beginning, I migrated from the design of the first gen AirPods, the classic Apple AirPods, to now an in-ear design, which I've never been fond of purely because these jab right into my brain, which in turn amplifies my voice in my head and muffles it, which is just incredibly unpleasant. Coupled with how these have now got a slightly larger design than the original AirPods, so they stretched my ears for a couple of days during my adjustment period. However, I can now wear these day in and day out and love how they sit in my ears because of the proprietary clip that they use for the tips. This is a lot more comfortable than average in-ear earphones because they do not go all the way in, and they come with adjustable sizes, which is great because you can use the Apple ear tip fit test to see whether or not they're a good fit for your ear, which is found in the Bluetooth settings. I stress that comfort is an incredibly important factor for me because I use these as daily drivers as compared to using headphones that some other people may use. So, first thing to consider if you want these for everyday use to do everything with is, are they comfortable? The next category that we will talk about is sound quality. By far the most important thing that you should consider with headphones is obviously the sound quality. With the larger design means they can house larger drivers, which in turn improves sound quality. Because they don't bleed sound like the first gen AirPods, these things are just a lot more pleasant and immersive to listen to songs with. And a new factor is purely because your bass notes, your mids and your highs are with improved spectrum that you can listen to and can produce more richer sounds. Something that I will give a lot of talking time to is spatial audio. Even though this is more of a feature, it does enhance the actual quality of the sound to a certain extent. It's more of an experiential thing, but it still enhances the listening experience. What's nice about this is you're able to sort of hear more hidden sounds that you would not be able to hear otherwise. And speaking of spatial audio, this brings us to the next category, which is features. These pack a lot of features. Spatial audio, head tracker spatial audio, transparency mode and active noise cancelling, which was the most talked about thing with the Pros and was the most heavily advertised. Reason being, it is the more technical of all the features that you can get on these things. So here's the deal with active noise cancelling. It's fantastic, but only in a situation when the sound is constant and it is sort of on the lower end of the frequencies that you can hear. For instance, being in a gym, being in a car, on a plane, in a room with a loud aircon, that's where these things excel. However, as soon as you go into a place where there's lots of talking and a lot of high-pitched noise, like a vacuum cleaner, that's when they drop a bit. Reason being is what these things are doing is they're listening to what your surroundings are playing, or the sound that they're creating, and they play an opposite sound wave to what that is to cancel it out. Hence active noise cancelling. But there's no way they can do what a full-blown pair of headphones can do. But I will say, for the size that they are, mind-blowing. What is kind of nice though, but I guess it could be a bit of a turn away for some people, is if you're in like a loud but low rumble environment, they can cut it out, but as soon as someone comes and talks to you, you can hear them. Just something to consider. The other feature that I will talk about is transparency mode, because I'm going to be honest, spatial audio head tracker mode is just a bit of a gimmick. What it's supposed to do is, like, as you move your head, the sound will like shift from side to side. The transparency mode, on the other hand, sort of simulates what the original AirPods sound like in how you can hear your surroundings, which is great if you are talking to people or in a situation where you need to hear something that's going on around you. They execute these very well, although sounds in the distance are not always that clear. And with transparency mode, what I do like is how it alleviates what I'm experiencing now as I talk. I'm hearing my voice muffled and amplified in my head. So I really enjoy that. Pair that with spatial audio, you have a killer combination. It sounds like the sound is around you. Surround sound. Alright, final point to make is my thoughts. What do I think about these? I think they're just the best. What is just phenomenal about these is the convenient size, the sound quality and the comfort, as well as how seamlessly they work within an Apple ecosystem. That's what makes these worth that 4,500 Rand. And I think that's what's most important to me with all technology and gear these days, is just something that I know I can rely on. And these are that. I have been using them since late November last year, and so far have been presented with minimal hassles. And so that's why I can recommend these. And yeah, they're earphones. I don't quite know what else there is to say other than they work, and they work well. And so I'll carry these anywhere and everywhere, you know, chuck it in a pocket or in a Sealand Pronto if I'm just running down to the shops. I could talk about these guys for as long as I could talk about Apple. Just fantastic gear. I'm getting a little bit sidetracked, but my point is, I think what's really important to me, and I think should be most important to people these days, is and these so far have just been top tier. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it somewhat conclusive, and I will see you in a month's time. Anywho, may you continue to have a great day.